Hey everybody, what's going on? Dace here, and today we are checking out a game called Feeble Light on Nintendo Switch. I would imagine it's on other systems, but I haven't looked into that. I just found out about this one yesterday, and the visuals alone just pulled me in right away. Now, of course, right from the get-go, I recognized that this was not going to be the type of game that I really sat down to put any sort of time in. Like, there's really no commitment in that sense. But what I will say is that it's by the same developer who did the games Z-Warp and Void Gore and probably others. I'm not sure what that dev has all done outside of those games, because there are some similar looking games on Switch, but I'm not sure who has done those ones. But yeah, I figured it would be cool to at least check this out. I had a whole bunch of eShop points to use and whatnot, so like normally this game would be sitting around $5 or $6 Canadian. So I figured, yeah, this would be really neat to just check out. So the way it works is sometimes you have halfway bosses, other times you don't. I'm not sure what triggers that, or if there can't always be halfway bosses. I know that when I destroy a halfway boss, there is this like bar that, not like a bar, but there's like a bunch of dots that show up on the screen, and one is filled in. So I'm not sure if like something is going to happen if you get into the stages far enough, because it just loops and loops. So maybe something special will happen after so many. I'm not sure, but each stage does have an end of stage boss, of course. And so the way it works is you have like a total of 5 stages, and that's why I'm considering this just the first loop. Because you can probably go for as long as you can last. I didn't sit down for too long with this, but you got like power-ups, extra lives, you can recharge your bombs and whatnot. But yeah, like the first 5 stages will always be randomized, and then when you start stage 6, that's when you'll have like a new randomization. So it could be any combination of like maybe stage 1, or I mean like, yeah, like stage 1 might be like the cave stage, and then stage 2 might be like the meteor one, and then stage 6 you might have a different order of those same 5. Another thing that I really enjoy about games like this is that you can just change the color palette. There's some really nice combos. This is one of my favorites, and I just think it's fantastic. It's just one of those like bite-sized experiences that you can jump into. Not really challenging in any sort of way. Like it might take a minute to just get used to the hitbox, but it's pretty apparent, and you can of course see it right there. But it's every once in a while, I don't see, like, here's the thing, I don't see, like these days, I don't see myself getting into this for scoring like I did Z-Warp. I went all out. And that can be like a really cool experience. With this, I'm not really wanting to put any sort of additional time into it, but I still do like just what these little experiences can offer you. It's just, yeah, it's just like a bit of a breath of fresh air in ways, depending on what you all have on the go. And even if you never touch it again, then so what? Like it's at least neat to see. So anyway, we'll just take a look at some of the enemies. I haven't been paying attention to the footage here, but this is like the cave stage. I think we saw one, like in one of the previous stages, we saw one big like ball-headed worm thing that was chasing after me. We have like dragons that do the same thing. We have like huge enemies that just float slowly down the screen, of course. It's easy to, I think in the run before this, some of the like the walls here, like I didn't even really notice those right away because I was just focused on other things. So I think the first time you play it, you're probably just going to have these really silly fumbles and whatnot until you realize what's what. This boss is fun. I think I might even still take like, oh, never mind. I was going to say like a hit or two or something, but no, if you're powered up enough, some of these bosses just come down super fast. And yeah, so like, and yeah, when I said like big enemies floating down the screen, sometimes they're going across the screen too. So when you combo that kind of stuff with big things flying down like this, or horizontally sometimes, and then the dragons chasing you, sometimes you'll have one of the dragons chasing you and one of the big ball-headed worms chasing you. and then stars flying over, it can get really, really intense. Now, because I haven't played an insane amount, I'm not sure what kind of power-ups are all included here. There are probably some really cool ones. When I did beat Stage 5 originally, like last night when I recorded the footage anyway, I unlocked some kind of mode. I don't recall what it was named, if it was like Chaos mode or something. I'm not sure how to access that. There doesn't appear to be anything in the options, and when you select when you jump in to just play the game, there's really no indication that you're doing anything differently or whatnot. So I'm not sure if that's just something that the game subjects you to automatically now, or what that situation is all about, but that's something I at least observed. So yeah, this would be considered the final boss. And like here, you're just seeing me doing like silly fumbles as I'm just like paying more attention to one thing and not another. But were I to jump in, I would definitely clean up this kind of stuff because it looks pretty straightforward to me. But yeah, here's just like the first tiny part of stage 6. I did make it all the way until somewhere in stage 8, and then my run crashed and burned. But yeah, pretty neat stuff. This isn't going to drag on for more than like 7 seconds, so I'll leave off there for now. Trust everyone's having a stellar weekend. Have a solid one, and we will see you next time.